So Ace Metaphor, the head and host of the Tonight's Conversation, is going viral for an interview that he had with Cam Newton like over a year ago. And he had this to say in regards to the modern dating scene that's happening today.
A lot of heterosexual men don't like women for real. They don't. They like women sexually, but they don't like women. They're not attracted to what a woman is outside of her sexual organs. So then when we get into why a lot of men womanize, or why it's just they're minimizing a woman based off of who she slept with or who she potentially can sleep for, because it's like you haven't gained the appreciation of the wholeness of a woman yet.
Now, isn't this funny? Because the man that Ace is speaking to is Cam Newton. And this man has children with multiple women. So to a degree, these two men are kind of living the same lifestyle but pretending that they are not. Now let's address what Ace had to say, right?
And what that wholeness of a woman can bring to your life. A lot of times we'll talk about strength and we'll say men are stronger than women. But that's because we value physical strength. We're not talking about emotional strength, spiritual strength. Yeah. We're not talking about the type of strength that can run a household. And we're not putting that same type of weight. And what I would encourage, and this was the shift that I had to do, is I had to start liking the wholeness of a woman outside of sex.
Is it true concerning the things that Ace Metaphor said in terms of men only chasing women for sexual gratification? It's true, but that is not the truth.
I guess we'll never know.
And this is why the social media dating pool is filled with people that like to talk and speak from a place of pandering, but hide the real truth behind the reason why things are happening the way they are happening today. And the reason why I said social media dating is because a lot of people get their dating requirements and dating standards from social media. A lot of people spend so much time on their phones that they think that how the world is how social media is. And to a point, social media is the reality of the dating world.
Fuck.
But you'll realize that when you take your focus off social media and its opinions, that there's a different side and a different world in the world that you live in that does exist.
Like and subscribe.
When we talk about the Bible talks about finding a capable wife, right? That capable wife, that person that if you was to stumble, can pick up the ball and start running. And there's a lot of men that have just a wife because they was only concerned about what she can do in the bed. Yeah. And so what I'm just encouraging men to do is just like, and it's for our own benefit, because a lot of us, especially men with some type of means, we end up finding a dependent, not a partner. Yeah, she can fuck us good. But if you was able to stumble, bro, what the fuck is gonna happen with your family? And so I just encourage men to be, I'm not gonna say more, because that's unrealistic to a lot of men, but as attracted to what she brings as a feminine energy to your life outside of just what you're doing.
Check this out.
Men and women have issues. Are they men that use women purely from a sexual point of view? Yes. And are there women that use men solely from a provider and what he can do for me point of view? Yes, but that's not everything that there is to life in dating. And here's the issue with Ace Metaphor that I have, right? Ace Metaphor is the pot that's calling the kettle black. He is currently not married. He was married at age 19, got divorced at age 21.
Damn. I'm sorry.
And since then, there has been nobody that has been tied to him in terms of a long-term relationship that led to marriage. He has said that he's been in a relationship before, but when they've asked him a question about what is the purpose of dating, this man gave a whole bunch of word sandwich that we couldn't even get to the point of what he's even trying to say.
What is the purpose of dating?
It depends on who you asking. My purpose, if you ask me specifically,
in the scope of society, in the scope of family, what is the purpose of dating?
For some people, for a large percentage of the people, the scope of dating, if you're being intentional, is to find a husband or wife.
Correct. So,
but let me ask you this question, a follow-up question. Is that the reason why everyone dates? I want to be very clear here. Specifically, I said people are not monolithic. Right now, you're bringing in God, devil, the Bible, and those are your particular principles. And I respect that, brother. I grew up religious too. I respect what you're saying.
When we talk about the Bible talks about finding a capable wife, right? That capable wife, that person that if you was to stumble, can pick up the ball and start running. And there's a lot of men that have just a wife because they was only concerned about what she can do in the bed.
Dating, the main purpose of dating, it should be to find a mate. I understand your perspective. brother, but I'm not going to dismiss your perspective simply because it doesn't align with mine or this person's or that person.
So when you break this down, this is a bunch of people that are confused and don't know what they want, but they want to have their cake and eat at the same time. And it creates a cycle of people getting hurt and passing on that unhealed trauma to the next person that may have good intentions. Now you would say, why is the next person that has good intentions falling for somebody that has trauma? And that's because a lot of people are naive and ignorant.
To this day,
They know what they want, but they don't know how to get what they want, either because they don't have the proper knowledge, and those that have the knowledge don't know how to apply that knowledge. Here is what all this comes down to. This is not a modern dating problem. This is a person problem. This is when people have issues with themselves. And this is what I mean. You cannot give what you do not have. How you treat yourself, the standard to which you hold yourself, is what you're going to require from other people. And from that standard, how you treat yourself is how you're also going to treat other people. Things do not just happen.
I wanted to encourage the men that he's around every day, that he sees, that he talks to like women. They're only attracted to women by what a woman can do for them in the bedroom, but outside of that, they don't want nothing to do with a woman. All I'm saying is when you get these men who like the limelight, who love to tell you everything that you like to hear, but they never live by what it is that they say, and they constantly, continuously create families and break up families and break down women, because like I said, there's a whole lot of women out here that is coming out about Mr. Ace metaphor, talking about the mental and physical that he's done to them over the years, but yet he still continuously speaks to y'all and projects onto y'all what it is that he's experienced and wants to group everybody into that because that's what he sees through his lens.
And this is what I mean. If somebody does not mind putting themselves through pain, whether that's by doing all types of drugs, engaging in all types of dangerous activities, then they are not going to care about the activities that they put other people through. And when you create a lifestyle with this type of cycle, it dulls the senses, it dulls your conscience, because it's a habit. It's a habit that you formed, and to break out of that cycle, either life is going to do something to shake you up a bit, or somebody has to pull you out. But sometimes we all have free will, and people do not want to leave what they know. Now, none of this is confirmed to be true, but a fellow or previous co-host of the Tonight's Conversation said or exposed Ace metaphor for pandering to people while also engaging in the same behavior that he publicly denounces.
A lot of the cast is very respectful, and they're respectful to their wives. But I see him doing his thing, and I'm like, I minded my black ass business.
Right.
You are a bad character.
Right.
You have a bad character, but I kind of was like, you know what? He's the boss. And it in my mind then, I'm like, that's what men do. Not all. I don't think all men cheat, but you're getting money. And the things that he would say on stage would be so evident that when I'm looking at the women, I'm like,
But they be eating that shit up from him though.
Because I guess if you're in a place like pain is profitable, right. Especially now, and I learned that. I had to learn it along the way. But pain is really profitable. You hurt. You want a man. You got dogged out by your ex. You want to be married so bad. You're unfulfilled. You want to find somebody. So you want these men to tell you what they're gonna tell you, and they're gonna sit up there and, ladies, respect yourself, but also in the same breath, but if he cheats on you and you find him fingering your homegirl, you need to just let it happen, especially if he's paying the bills. I'm looking like, I'm not saying verbatim. He didn't say that verbatim, but it would be along the lines of, let a man with money cheat, but also respect yourself and don't settle for less. And I kind of was like, well, if women aren't, I'm on the stage as well. I'm saying the opposite.
And this is why it's very easy for people to talk. It's very easy for people to go online and say what they want, to talk about healing journeys and all those things. But the truth is, it's very hard to implement all the things that you want or all the things that you're saying into your daily life, because that takes a lot of energy that you won't even have time for social media and going back and forths. Your life is a product of your decisions. And if somebody has been single since the age of 21 and they have not found somebody to spend the rest of their life with, but yet they give dating advice they will not know what the purpose of dating is, and they will not know what to give you what you want. They can say nice things, but they cannot get you to where you want to go because they haven't been there. And if they haven't been there, they are not even acknowledging the fact that they do not have all the skills and all the knowledge that it takes to get there. If not, they would have, especially when that's not something that they are opposed to. So regardless of what Ace Metaphor has to say on this whole dating topic, this is not a man problem because everybody uses everybody. It starts with you, how you use yourself, the standards that you hold to yourself, how you treat yourself. Because if you treat yourself well, it is very hard to treat other people badly. Extremely hard. Doesn't mean that you're perfect. You will make mistakes. But at the end of the day, you cannot give what you do not have. And it is what you have that you end up giving anyway. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to enjoy your day.